Hello and welcome back to Hindustan Astrology. I'm Katya, and in today's video we're going to talk about the entire month of August seen through the lens of Venus in Gemini. Now, it's been a very tenuous and stressful year so far. I do think we're going to get some relief this month, and especially next month when Rahu and Ketu switch signs, and Rahu will go into Taurus and Ketu will go into Scorpio. So this is kind of a precursor of some of the change and some of the peace that's to come. But we still have a little bit of strife left. So let's take a look at what's going on. Okay. So Venus goes into the sidereal sign of Gemini on July 31st, if you're in the Eastern time zone, or if you're west of here, August 1st. And will be there until August 31st, and leaving her sign of Taurus, where she has been since March 28th, which is a long cycle because she went retrograde during this time. So Venus in Gemini shows the social and friendly side of this graha, and as Gemini is ruled by Mercury, we see that our communications take on a sociable ambiance, and we yearn to get out and see our close acquaintances and family, especially now because we've been in quarantine. Venus will be in Gemini the entire month of August 2020, so this will flavor everything that happens this month. She is first in Mrigashira Nakshatra, where she joins Rahu, who is just 4 degrees 29 minutes away on the day that she enters, and Mercury, who is in Punervasu at 28 degrees 25 minutes. Jupiter went into Purva Ashada on July 26th and will be there until October 30th. Purva Ashada is ruled by Venus, and as they are now in an opposition, this will make these two planets particularly poignant right now. Jupiter is guru. He is our beliefs and religions. Venus is also a guru of her planetary camp, and she is what we value: love, money, women, and relationships of all kinds. So, as Jupiter will be in Purva Ashada for a long time, we see that the meaning of this nakshatra, which is declaration of war, is very prominent. And as Venus is the ruler, and Ishtar is a deity associated with the star Caus Borealis that rules this lunar mansion, we see that this aspect of Venus is about boundaries and defending them. Mars will be giving his fourth and strongest aspect to Venus while he is in Pisces, so this will show a real power struggle between those who want war and those who want peace. As the symbol of Jupiter's Mula Tricona sign of Sagittarius is the centaur, half human and half horse, and the symbol of the U.S. Democratic Party is a donkey, the horse theme suggests that this political party will have the upper hand until October 31st. At that time, Jupiter will go into Uttara Ashada, where Saturn currently is, but on the Capricorn side, and so this is going to give more favor to the Republicans. Having Venus as the ruler and in opposition until August 31st means that the women will be declaring war on the opposition, and the women of the opposing party, the Republicans, will also be involved in this brawl. We also know that Joe Biden is going to pick a woman as his vice presidential candidate, so we will see that happen at this time too. Now, we had the fixed star Bellatrix, the star of Mrigashira, conjunct Rahu on the solar eclipse of June 21st. So this theme of the female warrior will be present all the way up to election day of November 4th. Having Ketu conjunct Jupiter until September 19th and Pluto conjunct until November 20th, we see the downfall of spiritual leaders, the breakdown of our beliefs, and dark agendas exposed. Also, I want to add that Uttara Ashada has the symbol of Ganesha. This is Ganesha's nakshatra, and Ganesha is an elephant, and the Republicans' symbol is the elephant. So that's another indication that after October 30th, the favor will go to the Republicans. Now, Venus through the nakshatras this month. From July 31st until August 8th of 2020, we have Venus in Mrigashira. This will be a very active time. Mars rules Mrigashira, so he is going Gandanta, which feels like drowning. We will have to untie some karmic knots before he moves full on into Aries. Mars was at the fulcrum of the Kalasarpa yoga that we had just for all three eclipses. So the themes of war, fighting, real estate, and boundaries will be in focus. Also during the cycle, we have the full moon, which happens on August 3rd at 11:58 p.m. EST, and it's at 17 degrees of Capricorn, Shravana Nakshatra. On the full moon this month, it will be all about learning to listen, to keep silent, and to not listen to gossip. Shravana is the star of listening and learning, but when ill-dignified, it indicates talking too much and listening to lies and gossip. Mercury, the planet of communication, is conjunct the sun, and Saturn retrograde is conjunct the moon. Venus will be conjunct Rahu and making the opposition to Jupiter retrograde, Pluto retrograde, and Ketu, who are all conjunct. This indicates old flames could resurface with the Venus-Ketu opposition, especially ones that came around during Venus retrograde, which was May 13th to June 25th. Now, from August 8th until the 22nd, we have Venus in Mrigashira going into Ardra. August 5th to the 31st, we have Venus-Rahu conjunction. This indicates more faded love, but also teardrops and drama. You are being shown who really loves you and those who are your frenemies or your outright enemies. Use the power of Ishtar, the star Caus Borealis, to defend your boundaries and establish healthy ones. If you've let people walk all over you, then now is the time you will really feel it and be forced to let go with the Ketu opposition. Jupiter will expand the energy, and it should be quite a show, so get out the popcorn. Now on August 16th, Mars goes into Aries, and he's still Gandanta. So here we go. Mars is the Karaka of war, and now he's in his own sign of Aries, so the fight will be full on. This puts him out of the tenuous fourth aspect to Venus, which is good, but now he is in his own sign and wants to fight. Mars is also exalted in Capricorn, and his Mula Trikona sign is Aries. So actually, my experience is that when Mars is stronger, he can be arrogant, but when he's debilitated, it humbles him a little bit. So we're going to see a lot of arrogance right now. He will be conjunct Uranus retrograde, so this shows violence and sudden explosions, lightning quick reactions, car accidents, and unexpected events. He is set to go retrograde September 9th to November 13th, and as during the US election, you had better believe you have not seen the worst of the rioting and the anger yet. So be prepared, please. Now, August 7th to the 31st, we have Mars Gandanta in Pisces and Aries. Gandanta means knot plus end. It is a very well-placed knot at the end of a karmic rope that we must unravel before we move on to the next cycle. But the feeling is that you're drowning. It always takes place from 26.4 degrees of a water sign to 3.2 of a fire sign. Once he goes into Aries, he will be with Uranus retrograde, who is in Bharani Nakshatra ruled by Venus. So the women will be very passionate at this time regarding current events. And also, I think this is going to be the time period starting August 7th that we're going to hear who Joe Biden picks as his VP candidate. Now, August 17th, Sun goes in Leo, and he'll be conjunct Mercury, which means our speech will be very passionate. And he will be trine Mars in Aries. So leaders will benefit from these two planets being both in a fire sign. Now, August 22nd to the 31st, we have Venus in Punervasu Nakshatra. Now that Venus is in Punervasu, a Jupiter-ruled nakshatra, and Jupiter is in Purva Ashada, a Venus-ruled nakshatra, we have what is called a Nadi Yoga. These two grahas are natural enemies, but having them exchange sublords means that some of the tension and strife will be relieved a little bit. Punervasu means return of the light and comes after the dark night of the soul of Ardra. So hopefully this will be a foreshadowing of peace to come, perhaps after the elections. And then during the cycle, we have the new moon, which is August 18th at 10:40 p.m. EST, and it's at 2 degrees of Leo in Magha Nakshatra. Mars trine Mercury, and this will be from, Aries and Leo, both fire signs, so it's a trine. It is a time to honor our ancestors and follow traditions. People will be very patriotic, and leaders will communicate this need to stand up for our country and our ancestors. Family pride will be very strong. Neptune retrograde, opposition to the new moon during this time. Lies, deceit, disillusion, deception. These are all words to describe Neptune. But when he's retrograde, the clouds part and we see the truth. Venus is giving a trine aspect to Neptune retrograde. So in personal relationships, we will have lies exposed. And having Neptune retrograde in opposition to the Sun and Mercury shows the lies our leaders have been telling. But guess what? Neptune is a higher octave of Venus. And so I think during this time, some beautiful music will be made. And hopefully artists will be releasing things to uplift people's spirits and give them a sense of hope right now. So that's it. That's all I have to say about August for this month. And, I feel like a lot of focus will also be on education because the kids are going back to school. And I'll be talking about that in my next video, which is for the full moon happening on August 3rd. So if you like the video, please subscribe, hit the button below, make sure to click on the bell because you won't hear you won't get my emails unless you click on it. So thank you very much for joining me in this, and I hope that this leaves you well. Namaste.